We're going to start this final. First dive on the board, Mala, she's going to make inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Four and a half, 5, 4.5, 5.5, 4.5. Antonia is going to make inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Five, 6, 6, 6, 6.5. Next diver is Savannah. She's going to make inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6. Next on the board is Simran. She's going to make forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Four and a half, 4.5, 5.5, 5, 5. Ligger is going to make forward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Four and a half, 4.5, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. Ryan will be making back 1.5 somersaults, piked. Four, 4.5, 5, 4, 4. L'Oreal, back 1.5 somersaults, piked. Three and a half, 4, 4.5, 4, 3.5. Emily, forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Five, 4.5, 5, 5, 5.5. Evelie, back 1.5 somersaults with duck. Six and a half, 7.5, 7, 7, 7.5. Sarah, inward 1.5 somersaults, bite. Six, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Jonna, inward 1.5 somersaults, bite. Six, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Lita, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five and a half, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Round 2. Mala, back 1.5 somersaults with duck. Three and a half, 4.5, 4, 4, 4. Antonia, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. Three and a half, 4, 4, 4, 4. Savannah, forward 2.5 somersaults with duck. free, 2.5, 2, 2.5, 2. Semram, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. Six, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Lieke, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five and a half, 6, 6, 6, 5.5. Ryan, reverse 1.5 somersaults with duck. Five, 5.5, 5.5, 5. L'Oreal, reverse 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five and a half, 6, 5.5, 4.5, 4.5. Emily, reverse 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five and a half, 6, 5.5, 5, 5. Emily, reverse 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists in a free position. Six, 5.5, 5, 6, 5.5. Sarah, forward 2.5 somersaults, bite. Six, 5.5, 6, 6, 5.5. Jonna, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Lita, reverse 1.5 somersaults, spiked. Seven, 6.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5. Round 3. Mala, reverse 1.5 somersaults with duck. Four, 4.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Anthony, reverse 1.5 somersaults with duck. Four, 5, 4, 4, 4. Savannah, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 5.5. Simran, reverse 1.5 somersaults with duck. Five, 5.5, 6.5, 6, 6. Likke, reverse 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five and a half, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Ryan, forward 2.5 somersaults with duck. Five and a half, 5, 6, 5, 5. L'Oreal, reverse 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists in free position. 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4, 4, 4. Emily, back 1 and a half somersaults, fight. From all judges, 6. Evelyn, forward 2 and a half somersaults, fight. Six, 6, 5 and a half, 5, 5 and a half. Sarah, reverse 1 and a half somersaults, fight. Five, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half. Jonna, reverse 1 and a half somersaults with a duck. Six and a half, 6, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 6. Lita, forward 2 and a half somersaults, right. Six and a half, 6, 6 and a half, 7, 6. Round 4. Mala, back somersault with 1 and a half twists in a free position. Four and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 5. Anthony, forward 2 and a half somersaults with duck. Four, 3, 3 and a half, 3, 4. Savannah, back 1 and a half somersaults with a half twist in a free position. 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 6, 6, 6. Simham, inward 1.5 somersaults with duck. Four, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Liggen, inward 1.5 somersaults, bite. Five and a half, 5, 6, 5, 5. Ryan, inward 1.5 somersaults with duck. Five and a half, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, 6, 5 and a half. L'Oreal, inward 1.5 somersaults, bite. Six, 6, 6, 5 and a half, 5 and a half. Emily, inward 1.5 somersaults, bite. Six, 6, 7, 6 and a half, 6 and a half. Evelyn, reverse 2.5 somersaults with duck. Five and a half, 5, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5. Sarah, back 1.5 somersaults, bite. 5, 5, 4.5, 5, 5.5. Jonna, forward 1.5 somersaults with 1 twist in a free position. Five, 4.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Lita, inward 1.5 somersaults, pike. Six and a half, 7.5, 7.5, 7. This was the last dive in this competition. Thank you, judges. Thank you, secretaries. I would like to ask the finalists of the competition for a boys on 3-meter board to get ready for the presentation. So please report to the outside of the judges' room. Hans Martin Gödel, Jasper Wallet,